Welcome. Thank you for watching this video on uploading survey data to bumblebeewatch.org. This is the final video in a series of Bumble Bee Atlas training videos. This segment provides an overview of how to enter your survey data online. The final step in conducting a survey for the Bumble Bee Atlas is to enter your data online. This allows Bumble Bee Atlas staff to confirm the identification of the bees and compile survey data. Your survey information and associated bumblebee photos will also be entered into a comprehensive and publicly accessible database where scientists can access the data for use in research and conservation projects. To enter your data, you'll need your completed data sheet, photos of the bumblebees associated with that survey, and your Bumblebee Watch account login information. I'm going to walk you through entering some example data. Here is my example data sheet. For a point survey, I will enter this one data sheet into Bumblebee Watch. For each roadside survey, I will enter 5 data sheets. I have a folder on my computer with photos of the bumblebees from that survey. The file name of each photo lines up with the photo number on my data sheet. You can start by organizing your photos since you can submit 6 images per bee in Bumblebee Watch, but you'll often have more than 6 photographs. These 6 photos should show all of the required angles of the bee so that the team can identify your bee and should be high enough quality so that you can see the individual hairs of the bee. For a refresher on which images to include, review the Photographing Bumblebees training video. Once you have your photos organized, you're ready to log into Bumblebee Watch. Now I'm going to switch over to bumblebeewatch.org and log into my account. Okay, so once you're at Bumblebee Watch, you want to use the Bumblebee Atlas section here and select Submit Sightings. If you are recording incidental observations, you would use the Bumblebee Watch section here. So we'll go to Submit Sightings under Bumblebee Atlas. And you can choose from your locations if you're repeating a survey in a location that you've already done a survey by selecting from the drop-down here, or you can add a new location. To select on the map, you can zoom in, or you can do a location search. We'll use Pine Creek, Montana as an example. And you can also switch over to the satellite view, which is a lot easier when you're looking for trail information. For this example, we are going to enter the latitude and longitude exactly from the data sheet. So I have this data sheet here next to me, and I'm just going to enter that information. So the name is BBA demo, latitude is 45.03349. Longitude, you need to include the negative here. So negative 109.65556. And click Proceed. For accuracy, for a point survey, since your hectare covers a larger area, you can select 50 to 100 meters accuracy. Enter the date of your observation and your survey type. We recommend that for the collection method, you are capturing or at least trying to capture all of the bees observed, but if any of these other options apply to you, you would select that there. This autofills 1 hectare, so leave it as 1 hectare unless you survey a different area. Enter number of surveyors and the start and end time. Your survey length in minutes should be 45 minutes, but you'll notice the start and end time is quite a bit longer than that to allow for time to transfer bees into the vial and other stops that you may have taken. We then enter in the associated temperature, cloud cover, weather information. So the temperature you can see on the data sheet is 68 degrees, cloud cover was 15%, and the wind speed was 5 miles per hour. Then we move on to the habitat information part of the data sheet. So the habitat type of the survey area for this survey was grassland meadow, and the habitat type of the surrounding area was also grassland meadow. The secondary was shrub scrub, and there was no tertiary habitat. The next question asks what percentage of the plot can you actively search for bumblebees on flowers? And it looks like for this survey it was 60%. For the nesting resources, I just enter in any of the information from this section of the nesting habitat from the data sheet. So it looks like for this survey, there was loose bare soil, rock piles, and rodent holes and tunnels. Then I enter all of the management information from the data sheet. No mowing, no livestock grazing, yes, native grazing, no agriculture, no insecticide use, no herbicide use, no evidence of fire. And for evidence of honeybees, it looks like I didn't see any actual hives, but I did see honeybees at the site, so I'll put suspect here. And for management notes, I write that I saw 20 honeybees. For the number of flower species, there were 3 species that I recorded here, and then 3 plant boxes appear here. So then I'll go to the second page of my data sheet, and it looks like the 3 plants that I saw here were Castanea. And as I start typing the name, this queries the iNaturalist database of all the plants. So this was a plant that I saw only to the genus level. So I'm going to select paintbrushes, genus Castanea here. The second plant I saw was Achillea millefolium, and it pops up here, common yarrow. Third plant, I also couldn't identify 2 species, so I'll put Lupinus as the genus. You can check that this was a volunteer effort so that you can record the time that you started volunteering and the time that you stopped. So this is the section here at the bottom of your data sheet. "10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It looks like the mileage was 25 miles and 1 hour of organizing and entering data. Since you're watching this training video, you can check that you use online resources for training, the day that you use those resources, and how many hours you spent watching videos or reading materials. This will ask you if you detected bees in your survey. So for this survey, you can see that I saw 2 bees. If you did not see any bees in your survey, you would select no, this would be a null survey, but you would submit the data sheet anyway. So for this, I click yes, and I type my name to verify the information, and then click proceed. To add the bumblebee sightings, you go to add sightings. And for your first bee, you can look at your file of bees. So it looks like there were 2 bees. I have it separated by a photo of the sky here. And I first select these first 4 photos. This corresponds with the numbers on the data sheet. So I'll just show you here the photo numbers were 465 to 468. And I can see that here. So I select these 4 images and I just drag and drop them here as my first record. While those are loading, you can either record the species that you think the bee was. In this case, I identified it to Bombus nevadensis, or you can select the AI identification for recommendation. So I select Bombus nevadensis. Reference ID, this can be used if you submitted this record in iNaturalist as well, or if you're a researcher using this for your specific purposes. The sex, you can select queen, worker, male, or female. If you don't know, that's okay, and you can just put not determined. This was a female, and the floral host was a lupin. If you have any notes or if you want to mark it as private, you can check this box, and then you select Save Citing. For your next bee, go to Add Citing and do the same thing. So I look at my data sheet and I can see that my second individual was 487 to 491. And so I can select these images here and drag and drop them. For this individual, it wasn't recorded to species, so I just select SP. For sex, this was also a female, and the floral host was also a lupin. I'll click Save Citing, and that completes the records since there were only 2 individuals here. We'll wait for this to save, and then I'll show you here. So the bumblebee sightings, these 2 observations are right here. If there was a mistake in your data entry, you can go to Edit, and you can also edit your checklist data. But that is everything that you need to do, and your checklist is now complete. Remember, you can access the resources section of the Bumble Bee Atlas website for additional information, including the section How to Submit Data. If you have questions, I invite you to visit the Bumble Bee Atlas website to learn more. You're also welcome to email us at bumblebeeatlas@xerces.org.